Happy Fragrant Friday, Fraghead. Hey everybody, this is Ben here at That Cologne Guy, coming at you with yet another top 10 list that doesn't have 10. But I have more, of course. I'm always busting at the seams, but you know what? This is a top 10-ish episode here at TCG. You would expect nothing less. In fact, if I had exactly 10, you would be disappointed. Because here at this channel, top 10 really means 12, 13, 14, 15. And so we're going to call it a top 10-ish episode. I really enjoy these. I have, in fact, it's time. You know, I have thrown this out a few times. We have flirted with this notion. We have danced around the topic, and it's time. This week is the episode that you have been waiting for. You marked it on your calendars. You demanded it. You've been counting down. All right. So this is, of course, you've seen the title and you've seen the description, so you know this is the top 10 bedtime fragrances. I talked about bed sheets a lot, and I did find out this is not a YouTube first. There are other YouTubers who have done these, but this is, of course, a unique touch because I have a few things that differ from other reviewers on this list, and I hope you appreciate that. So I have mentioned this for many an episode, and I would float out this theme and say, you know, I really should do a top 10 bed sheets, a top 5, etc., etc. And then I was thinking a lot of fragrance reviewers actually, a lot of frag heads actually wear their fragrances after a shower at the end of the night. So then I kind of combined the two. So this is an episode talking about for people who wear fragrance at night before going to bed and also spraying on their bed sheets. So that's one reason why I'm busting at the seams with so many fragrances. This was a lot of fun. I love doing research on the top 10s. So I have mentioned this for a long time, and subscriber Saru Kame enthusiastically, I can't say requested it, but enthusiastically supported this every time I floated the idea out. So it's just time that we do this, folks. Okay, so before I dive in on the ground rules, let me say very quickly, since last Friday, yet again, we have had an absolute blast of new subscribers, and I really appreciate that. Welcome to the channel. You can see my channel trailer right there, and I'll just quickly say that my system has a 5 spray rating system for each individual review that I do, and then I put that number, actually spray it onto myself or dab it depending on the bottle. Second thing is, I am not an infomercial. I am not sponsored, and I buy my own bottles, and that's why I have to be rather nitpicky, but I am a fiercely independent, small yet spirited channel. So welcome aboard. I really appreciate it. You're going to love all the commenters below. The subscribers for this channel are so much fun because they're all over. Some are some specialize in designer, some specialize in niche. We just love fragrance, and that's what I wanted to do when I began this channel. I don't want any sort of limits or definitions when it comes to the type of fragrances that I review. I reviewed Axe, for crying out loud, okay? Name a reviewer who's done that. And I think the next week, I reviewed Amouage, okay? So I went from Axe to Ultra Niche. So deal with that. All right, so I have, of course, spent way too much time, but let's talk about the ground rules. To make it onto this episode, what I did was I sat down, made a list of all the fragrances that I think of when I'm thinking about just taking a shower at the end of the night, and then or spraying onto my sheet. So I want to come clean. That's not a pun. It's not a pun. I did not mean that. I do want to come clean though right now and say, for me personally, it's not so much of fragrance taking a shower at the end of the night as it is for me spraying on bed sheets. That said, a lot of you guys use fragrance before you go to bed on your own skin. So do me a favor. Before we start, please comment down below and let me know if you wear fragrance either on your own skin or if you you spray it onto your bed sheets, pillowcases. I would love to know which ones that you wear, and hopefully you'll find some ones on this list. And if not, I would love to know of other fragrances. So please comment down below and let me know that. So the ground rules are, I made this list. So after I made my list, I then went and checked to make sure that at least one person on the internet, Fragrantica probably, but anywhere, had said that they also wear this to end the night or they spray on their bed sheets. So this is a different kind of list from other reviewers because it's been cross-checked. At least one other person has said that they also wear this. And then the second rule of thumb was most of these are going to be aromatics. So aromatics are lavender, sage, rosemary. So these are going to be herbs and spices that really are associated with relaxation, calm, falling asleep, serenity, etc. So there's going to be most of these, if not all, are aromatics. Okay, so there you have it. Those are the ground rules, and let's dive in. I'm going to start off with a whopping three honorable mentions. And the first one is L'Odyssée de Isimiaki. And the reason why I felt like I can't put it on my list is because I feel like it's just a tad too strong to wear either on sheets or on my own skin right before I went to bed. I love it though. I really, really appreciate this one. In fact, it's my scent of the day. It's still hot out, and so I decided to wear L'Odyssée as my scent of the day. So, and I enjoy wearing it during the day. So because I can't put my own stamp on this as like I would actually put these on my own sheets. That said though, I could absolutely see why somebody would. I really enjoyed this one. It does have a very calming, the yuzu note is sublime, and it really does have a relaxation feel to it. So I wanted to include that as an honorable mention. The other two honorable mentions are actually by the house, and I'll explain. So one of the things you're going to see on bedtime fragrance review episodes is 4 to 5 houses that are probably going to come up. Diptyque, Acqua di Parma, Atelier, Clean, and I'll leave it there. So when it comes to Atelier, I've reviewed a lot, and I still have. In fact, I still have a bunch more. I really couldn't make a decision on which Atelier I would choose, but because they use a higher percentage of essential oils, I feel like this house would be great as either on sheets or as a bedtime fragrance for you. I just couldn't decide on specifically which one. So I'm going to just say as an honorable mention, the House of Atelier as one to check out if this is a topic that's highly interesting to you. The second one is also a house, and that is Clean. Come on, we had to do this, right? You knew that this was going to make it on at some point. Now, I actually like fresh laundry. Well, what's interesting about that one is warm cotton is the one that smells like Tide Pods. Exactly. So I would recommend that you check out the House of Clean. They're going to be on probably everybody's list. I liked fresh laundry, but ironically, the warm cotton scent is the one that really smells a lot like Tide. I mean, it smells like fresh laundry. So maybe an identity crisis there. But when it comes to the house itself, you should check it out if you like to wear very calming, relaxing fragrances to end the night. All right, so let's dive in. I'm going to start off. Oh, let me just say one thing real quick, too. Most of these are for men or unisex fragrances, and I do have one at the end. So you guys know, if you follow the channel, in my top 10s, I have a bonus feature at the end where I talk about future fragrances that I would like to try. And so one that came up, so I'm going to say right now, if you're looking at this list and you specifically want perfumes or fragrances just for women in terms of marketing, of course, I really only have one. So I want to say it right now so that way I can get that out of the way, and I'll talk about that at the bonus feature in the last 2 to 3 minutes of this episode. And that is Tangier Vanille by, it looks like Aaron, Aeron. RIN, and a lot of people spoke to that. I can't say much. I've never smelled it, but a lot of people said they love falling asleep to this fragrance. It is a woman's perfume, but I wanted to mention that real quick. And again, I'll elaborate more at the end. Okay, so I'm going to start off with best cheapies. And the reason why I'm doing that is because most of my list actually is relatively expensive. And you might say to yourself, if it's expensive, the last thing I'm going to do is spray it onto bed sheets. I'm going to spray it onto me and wearing it during the day when I'll be noticed by people. Totally understand that. So that's why I want to get the cheapies out of the way. The first one, of course, is Chrome by Azzaro. Very difficult. That's a citrus aromatic. Very difficult to find anything wrong with that. Some people say it smells like Windex, and some people are wrong. So I absolutely love that fragrance, and I think it would be fantastic for bed sheets. And I think for me personally, I would see it more as something I would put on myself after a shower to end the day. Again, relatively strong though, but you can get a tester for $20-25. That's incredibly cheap. And I would say just go easy on the trigger if you do want to wear that and immediately fall to sleep. I see this one as a fragrance I'd probably put on if I took a shower around maybe 5, 6, 7, something like that, right? And then went to bed much later. Now, another cheapie that is a fantastic fragrance, in fact, I might even do another episode because they've updated their bottle, is White Musk Sport by The Body Shop, also a citrus aromatic. I just think it's a great one. I mean, you can get it for what, $20-25? That is really a great buy. That is always on my cheapies list, and this episode is no exception. So very, very fresh. I love the white musk element to it. And again, deserves to be on this list in the cheapie category. So the next category we are again busting at the seams because I have a whopping 3 for best citrus. So I have, I guess in order of, well, almost in pricing. They're relatively expensive though. The first one is Neroli Portofino by Tom Ford. That is, you know what? That was such a fantastic review that I did in terms of somebody had recommended it. I went and tried it, and man, I enjoyed wearing that every single day of that week. I had a sample of it, and again, very pricey. But if price is not a problem for you, then Neroli Portofino by Tom Ford is truly sublime. Especially think about it. Putting that on your sheets during the summer. Oh man, it wouldn't get too much better than that. The second one is another one I'm actually really a big fan of, and it's kind of, to me, it's the Dior Homme option for those of us who don't really care for Dior Homme. So if you don't really like the iris note, the makeup note, the cosmetic note in Dior Homme, I do like Dior Homme Sport, then you should try Dior Homme Cologne, the 2013 bottle. That is, I just think everything is that I don't like about Dior Homme is toned down in that one, and what I like about it is actually amped up. So that one to me is another one that I would reach for putting on my sheets or wearing after, you think about it, you go to work, go to the gym, you get home, put some on, to end the evening. That is really a great fragrance. And so the third one is another fragrance that I smelled on a trip. This was not an airport, though. I was at a department store in Helsinki, Finland, and I smelled this one a long time ago. And that again speaks to how much I appreciate this fragrance, and that is Colonia Assoluta by Acqua di Parma, another Jean-Claude Elena release. Colonia Assoluta is, so there are a couple Acqua di Parmas on here. When I think of after a shower, wearing something that's very clean and masculine, and also would work just amazing on bed sheets and pillowcases, I do tend to think of Acqua di Parma. And so I've got a couple. Colonia Assoluta is just out of this world, and I would love to put it on at the end of the day and or on my bed sheets. So that is all 3 are citrus aromatics, and those are my best citrus. Next category is best woody, and I have 2. And another Acqua di Parma. So the first one, they're both woody aromatic, by the way. The first one is Acqua di Parma Blue Mediterraneo, so blue Mediterraneo bergamotto de Calabria. Huh? How's that? What do you think? What do you think, me? Acqua di Parma, blue Mediterraneo bergamotto de Calabria. If you speak Italian, you let me know how that is. So you could basically take any blue Mediterraneo line out of Acqua di Parma and just carte blanche, put it on your sheets. But I like this one in particular. I think it's just exquisite. And then the other one is Lalique pour Homme. I've mentioned it's another one that I've said I've had about 17 bottles of it, and that's 125 milliliter. I just sear through bottles when it comes to Lalique pour Homme. Really works for me. And then the next category is best lavender. We only have one because it is the king. Acqua di Gio. No, I'm kidding. So the best lavender is the king of lavender for me, no doubt, uncontested, and that has to be, of course, Caron Perhomme. Looks like Karen, Caron, Pordome, and of course I've got it here. That one is one of those ones where you have to buy the mammoth bottle. It is a barber shop, okay? It is mature. It's a classic. It's not dated. It's classic. And I must tell you, I have a hard time wearing it during the day. I appreciate wearing this one more at night. It does have a very calming, clean, masculine, refined, serene, tranquil feel to it. You see, and I do this on the fly. Look, no cue cards. You give it up for me. You applaud for me. Now, the next, so that is the only one on Best Lavender. End of story. Okay, so the next category is Best Gourmand, and then it also just so happens to be Best Vanilla / Best Amber. When you think of bedtime fragrances, you're going to see an abundance of amber, vanilla, neroli, woods, lavender. So this one is my Best Gourmand, and I would also say Best Vanilla / Best Amber, and that one is Allure Homme Edition Blanche. Now you might say to yourself, wait a minute, that's the one in the silver. Hold on. So there's Allure Homme Sport Eau Extrême, which I had for a while. I've mentioned this before. I bought that bottle because everyone said it was fantastic, right? I bought the bottle. I sprayed tons, clothes, skin, after shower, completely dry, you name it. I tried everything, and I could not get any scent out of that. So I contacted Chanel within the time limit. They, of course, accepted the fragrance back, and I ended up getting Acqua di Gio Essenza instead, so I'm very happy. I don't know, I'm assuming I just got a bad bottle. You can help me there, because I had practically zero longevity on Allure Homme Sport Eau Extrême. But I will say that this one is Allure Homme Edition Blanche, which you know is the lemon meringue pie fragrance. This one is the one that smells a lot like a lemon meringue pie. It smells like vanilla and lemon, and it's totally a gourmand. I must tell you that it's not necessarily my thing in the sense that there are better gourmands out there, but what I really liked about this one is I immediately thought of, again, kind of a calming effect. And so if you have a sweet tooth, this is the one that I would recommend at the end of the day. All right, so the next one is Best Original Cologne. And this one is a category for me that is for those of you who want something very unique, very original. You don't want something at all to smell something like detergent. You want something that gives kind of your own personal take on this notion of taking a shower, having a wind down effect to your day, and getting into a bed that just smells wonderful. So I have two, and the first one is a floral woody musk. It's the only one on here, and that is, of course, Tam Dao by Diptyque. You knew that one Diptyque was going to be on here. There are others I think I like better during the day, but when it comes to what we're looking for in this episode, I would say that Tam Dao fits the bill by Diptyque. Again, this is the original category, right? So this is something going to be unique. It's not going to be for everybody, but Diptyque make wonderful candles. So this house needs to be represented on this list somewhere. The other one might surprise you actually, but I I just think this is a perfect one for me, and it's the only one I think on this list that has ylang ylang and lily of the valley, which is Boucheron pour homme. That is a citrus aromatic, but Boucheron pour homme is another one that I think would be great because, again, for a lot of people, lily of the valley and ylang ylang elicit this kind of relaxed, serene feel that will help you fall asleep, and I love that fragrance. So the next category is best floral, and I have another one that's an easy champion for me. It's the one I mentioned where I started talking about bed sheets, actually, and that was Aqua Celestia Forte. Last week I said Fortis, but it is Forte. Aqua Celestia Forte by MFK, Maison Francis Curgia, is one that I reviewed, and it is truly airy, aromatic, smells fantastic. We've talked about this before, but to me, MFK, they might not take a lot of chances per se, but they just smell out of this world. And so that is one that must be on this list as best floral. All right, so let's get down to the brass tacks, shall we? The final category is my favorites. And so I have two, and I chose two because one is a fragrance that I like to wear at the end of a day after a shower. And then the other one is actually one that I really love on my skin too, but I prefer to spray on pillowcases and bed sheets. So the first one that I would put on my own skin is 40 pour homme. It was best lavender, and it is you can score a mammoth bottle for quite at a reasonable price, and it's one that I certainly reach for when it comes to again, having a shower at the end of the day and getting ready to have a restful sleep. The second one is Lalique pour homme. It's the one that started this conversation. Lalique pour homme is one that I just love putting on pillowcases, and I love putting on bed sheets. It is pour homme, but I would say it's a unisex fragrance to me. I love wearing it during the day, of course, but I really do associate it, and it's an absolute home run to me when it comes to putting on bed sheets and pillowcases. It doesn't have too much projection, right? That's the problem with some things like Chrome Azzaro and L'Eau d'Issey. They're going to project too much. This one doesn't project too much, but it projects just enough, and it really is a wonderful fragrance to have a blissful full night's sleep. All right, so there you have it. Those are the fragrances. I have thoroughly enjoyed doing this, and I really appreciate all of your ideas and support. Please let me know if you have anything else you'd like me to pursue. I've got a full list of subscriber-based topics coming up. Next week, like I said, is a mystery episode, so make sure you watch that. And always remember, fragrance marks the celebration of today. Take care, everybody. Welcome to the bonus feature, and a neighbor just started mowing, and I have a growling dog, so I'm actually going to make this much quicker than I had anticipated. I will really get down to the point. So I have 4 fragrances here. You guys know my bonus features for a top 10 list always has future considerations. I have not tried these, but many people have said, whatever you do, you need to get these, right? For whatever topic I was looking for. So the first one I've mentioned before, which is Mediterranean Neroli by Hermenegildo Zegna. That one is just one. It's on my list. I've been researching it for a couple years now. Really, really need to purchase that at some point. It was a little bit pricey, so I just want to make sure that I won't have any buyer's remorse. The second one is Pure Lavender by Ferrari, and we talked last week and the week before with a couple subscribers about car fragrances. Don't dismiss the car fragrances as being too designer. Bentley is one of them. That's my favorite. Bentley is just out of this world. It's fabulous. And Pure Lavender by Ferrari was another one that people said, whatever you do, make sure you get this one. I'd like to try it. The next one is the one I mentioned at the beginning of the episode. This one is a women's perfume, and this one is Tangier Vanille. I don't know if it'd be too feminine for me. I don't know, but I would like to at least try it on bed sheets and pillowcases to see what everyone's talking about. This one came up on many, many lists. I really appreciate that, and I want to give props to that And so that is Tangier Vanille by Aerin. I think it's Erin, but you can help me with the house name. And the final one, of course, must be Héritage or Heritage by Guerlain, of course, with the gold cap. But I will take any bottle, and I need to find that one and give that one a chance, because a lot of people said this one is a very calming fragrance, perfect to end the day. All right, folks, there you have it, the abridged version of the bonus features with Lawnmower / Growling Dog. Take care.